All right, we're here with the Fanatics weekly auction number 151. This auction ended last night on December 8th. We're going to look at the 48 highest selling basketball cards. Stay tuned till the end. You are going to get a massive surprise at the top where two ultra modern prospects outdueled the great Michael Jordan on one of his epic cards from the 80s. And two prospects ran away with this auction by quite some margin. So stay tuned till the end. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. It's a Monday morning. Buckle up, get some coffee. Let's have some fun. Let's look at 48 monster cards that sold last night on the Fanatics weekly auction number 151. If you've got a bunch of unwanted inventory that you've been sitting on for days, weeks, months, years, ship it to Fanatics Marketplace and let them do all the work. Just make sure when you ship it, you use the promotional code Cajun, all capital letters, C-A-J-U-N. Hey guys, Bryan with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. And before I forget, guys, we're looking at the Fanatics weekly auctions. Anytime you guys are considering selling on Fanatics, please do me a favor and consider using the promo code Cajun, all capital letters, when you submit your cards, no matter how big or how small. I will reiterate, one of the things I'm doing for folks out there, if you use the Cajun promo code, and I'm just going to take you at your word, if you use the Cajun promo code on a card that you have submitted to the Fanatics Premier monthly auction, or a card that you expect to sell for $5,000, $10,000, big boy cards, DM me, message me directly on Instagram. Let me know, hey Cajun, I just sent my card in. I used the Cajun promo code. I will use my big mouth and my Cajun connections to post your card with a direct link for those who see my Instagram reels, my Instagram posts, my Instagram stories, and I will try to steer as many eyeballs as humanly possible to your card that you're selling on the Fanatics Premier or weekly auction if it's a big boy card. Again, I don't want to send, a John Morant, Chronicles or a Menendez Brothers, Mark Jackson background card. Don't hit me up with that kind of stuff. But if you've got a big card, and you guys know what kind of cards I'm talking about, message me, and I'm going to try to help you guys out. It's the least I could do. If you're considering supporting this channel through the use of the promo code Cajun, then the very least I can do is try to get more eyeballs on your cards. It's a win-win. Our interests are aligned, so why wouldn't I try to help you sell those cards on Instagram? I've had great success doing that in the past. One more quick reminder, if you're buying on the Fanatics weekly auctions, you can use the affiliate link in this YouTube description. If you can copy and paste that into your browser, every single card that you bid on and ultimately win a little fraction of Fanatics money, it'll leave Michael Rubin's pocket and come into mine and help support this fine channel. I'm trying to bring you guys the most consistent content in the hobby, and I think I'm doing that. I'd love to keep doing it, and Fanatics is the primary way that I get compensated for doing that. So appreciate you guys considering using the affiliate link to buy and the Cajun promo code to sell. All right, let's get going. We got 48 cards to get through. It's a Monday morning. As you can see, I have freshly shaved my head. It's getting cold, rainy, and disgusting down here in Louisiana, but I'm going to brighten everybody's day, and we're going to talk about some really cool cards that sold on the Fanatics weekly auction. Again, if you see one of your cards that you won or that you sold, comment below. I love giving people shout outs. I love seeing that in the comments, and I try to keep it as polite as possible. Sometimes I just don't think a card should have sold for what it did, or sometimes I think people stole a card, and it's always fun to get that sort of engagement in the comments. So feel free to jump in if one of these cards was yours, either on the seller side or the buyer side. All right, first we'll start with one of the best and the baddest out there. From one of the greatest sets of the 90s, the 97 Metal Universe Platinum Portraits Kobe. This one's graded in an CSG 9, which I don't think I've ever seen. It does 3120. The first card we're going to look up in Card Ladder, which is my affiliate partner. Again, if you're buying, if you want to get a Card Ladder subscription, use the promo code Cajun for Card Ladder as well on the checkout page, cardladder.com. Go subscribe. It's what I'm going to use to look at all the data for all these sales. This is the 85 Nike Promo Jordan where the Jumpman originated, right? That's the Jumpman symbol right there, which became so famous all over the world. This is a mixed gem copy of that BGS 9.5, and this card's been on a wild ride. You guys know that if you were around in the hobby during the COVID years. But here's the card. It's popped 287, so not rare in a BGS 9 by any standards, but this card actually did really well. This is the highest price paid for this card in the last 10 sales in the last 2 years. So This is a card that has come way, 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 way down from a much higher peak and is recovering, and it looks to be rebounding really well. Last night's sale was a very big one. This was a mixed gem. This wasn't a gem plus plus or anything wild like that. So to go from $2,500 to $3,600, that's a $1,100 jump. That is huge. Like I said, COVID exists and craziness existed in the year 2020, 2021, and you can see right smack dab on the last day of the first month of the first quarter of the bubble year of 2021, a BGS 9.5 sold for $15,000, so we're nowhere near that, but it looks to be that this card's up 9% over the last 2 years, so an interesting trend right there in a big sale last night. Dennis Rodman's Tradition Classic 61. Remember, these are serial numbered to 61, and this is the Dennis Rodman. It's a Pop 1 with only 2 graded higher. It sold for $3,240 last night. So many of Dennis Rodman's cards feature phenomenal images of him snatching a rebound, legs flying, arms, elbows out. Everything's crazy. I love Dennis Rodman cards. He would be a fun person to PC from the 90s. 1957 Topps Bill Russell 2.5, good grade, does $33.60. A Kaboom Curry from 2021, where he's flexing his little arms, is a BGS 9.5. That's a Pop 10 card. That does $33.60 as well. What about this 1980 Topps Bird Magic PSA 8? You're not going to believe this. This is a Pop a zillion, right? Pop 3,120, right? This is a card that all of us old people have to have in our collection in some grade, of some form. 7, 8, raw, 6, 9, whatever. 9 starts to get a little pricey, but 8's sort of super affordable. 3,120. This is a card that's actually up 22% over the last year. That is not something that I would have guessed. I know everybody's down on high pop stuff, and this is certainly high pop stuff, 3,120. But this card is actually up 22% over the last 2 years. Pretty interesting number right there. Let me know your thoughts on that if you're a vintage collector. And, I don't know. Do you count 1980 as vintage? A lot of people cut off vintage 79-80. That is the cutoff. Like, for baseball specifically, 79 Topps vintage, 80 Topps not vintage. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I don't know. Vintage is sort of, a subjective definition, to say the least. And it may even be different for different sports, because cards are printed differently in different sports. I love this card right here. I like this pickup, and this seems way too cheap to me. This is a 1998 Upper Deck game jersey, Kobe Bryant, the yellow patch, PSA 9, and it does $34.80. Zebra Prizm, when all of the different animal prints started to go ape, and no pun intended, go ape shit, because that's an animal in 2007. Right now, I don't think there's an ape shit parallel. Is there an ape parallel or a gorilla parallel? If there is, Panini will figure it out at some point, maybe squeeze that in before Fanatics takes over. But this is the Zebra Prizm, and it's a PSA 10, and it is Tatum, who is in the conversation with, of course, Jokic and SGA and a couple of other folks for MVP. But again, the numbers that Jokic are putting up right now, it's almost worth just recording a video every single day. If you go look at his last 2 games, I think he scored over 100 points, had 30 rebounds, had 30 assists. I mean, he's absurd what he's doing this year statistically. Maybe the best year he's ever had. 2017 Select. This is a Tatum rookie card, $3,600 for that Pop 9 Tatum. Autograph home court, Michael Jordan, BGS 9.5, does $37.20. We got a Victor Wembanyama purple autograph thingy, serial number to 25, it does $37.20. We've got a Giannis 2013 Court Kings Next Day. These used to be all the rage. Back in 17, 18, 19, people were really looking for these Next Day autos. I don't hear too much talk about those anymore. I'm guessing that they maybe discontinued the Next Day autos. I don't know, somebody who's more in tune with the ultra-modern collecting and the ultra-modern products, please let me know. Did they just get rid of the Next Day autograph deal? I don't know. I think the whole deal was it was autographed the next day after the draft, or maybe it was after the combine. I can't remember. 3,000 must have been after the draft because they're wearing uniforms. 3,840 for that Giannis BGS 9, 10. And this is a great looking card. You just don't see too many of these. This is serial number to 49. This is his 2013 Panini Timeless Treasures PSA 10. That makes it a Pop 3. This card is way underpriced. $38.40 for that card. That's just not enough. That card should be worth way, way, way more than that. I didn't look it up on Card Ladder, but honestly, I feel like I probably should have. That is a humongous Steal right there. I love that card as a long-term hold. And let's look up the Jordan Ultra Stars. Anytime we get a Jordan hierarchy card, from the 90s and from the, Cajun Cardboard hierarchy project, by the way, posters are still available. If you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, go into this channel and go to the playlist hierarchy and just start watching. You've got many hours to catch up if you've never heard of that, and it'll be lots of fun if you collect Michael Jordan stuff or anything from the 90s, really. This Ultra Stars, this is not the Ultra Stars Gold, right? This is the little brother, is a mixed gem with 2 10s and a 9 for corners. It does 38.40 last night. There's your card right there. It is a pop 52. This card is up 47.69% with this last sale coming down. So the last sale was $42.92. This one came down to $38.40. I want to look at all time. No, so the all-time record, somebody forked over $9,200 back in 2020, allegedly. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But this card's doing great things over the last 2 years, up 48% almost. But it did come down from the last sale of almost $4,300. Came down about $500. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's see what direction it's going. Remember, there's 52 of those. But is this a good deal considering that the PSA 10s are $13,200? So $13,200 for a PSA 10, BGS 9.5, about 1/4, a little bit more than 1/4, right? Speaking of great Jordan hierarchy cards from the 90s, here's a relatively rare one. This is going to be lower than Pop 52 if I had to guess. The 96 Stadium Club Players Private Issue. A lot of people don't even know about this card. It's got a little stamp right here that says Private Issue. Apparently, some of the cards were sent to the players themselves. Like they issued a large quantity of the players themselves. You can read more about it on Beckett. But this 96 Stadium Club Players Private Issue Jordan PSA 10 does $4,200. There's the card right there, and there's that stamp that I was telling you about, how you can tell the difference between this card and a base card. This card is actually way down. So we don't see this very often. We don't talk about this very often. Jordan 90s hierarchy cards actually coming down. You'll see it is a Pop 36 with a 24% gem rate for PSA, but Pop 36 is a low number. You can see they've only graded, 168 have ever been graded. That's a rare card right there. And the card sold for $4,200 last night, down from $4,300. Up from $4,000 in November, but check this out. This card was a $5,000, $6,000, almost $7,000 card back here. $5,400, $6,300, $6,900. That's this year. So that's mid-year this year. This card was consistently in the fives. Now, part of it is it jumped. It really jumped. From the clear, consistent twos, 27, 27, 2000, 2150. Someone went nuts and bought it for $5,400 on Fanatics, and then sharp corners, somebody went $6,900, $6,300, $5,400, $4,000, $4,300, down to $4,200. So this card is in flux right now. We've got to keep a closer eye on it. Again, it's a great card with a close-up image of MJ right there. So let's keep an eye on that card. Yellow parallel of the 98 Dunkin' Go Nuts PSA 9 does $4,200. The Kobe, we see one of these almost in damn near every single auction. It's just a great card, and this one has no coating the way God intended it. The 96 Finest Refractor Kobe number 269 PSA 8. This card does $4,320. Caitlin Clark sneaks in, and by the way, I will have a video coming out very soon on the select one of one, gold vinyl autograph Caitlin Clark rookie card that sold for almost $250,000. Yes, you heard me right. There will be a video coming out on that you will not want to miss. We're going to look at what $240,000 can get you in the hobby, and then we're going to look at what someone chose to purchase with their $240,000. But this Caitlin Clark is serial number to 10. And by the way, I really like Caitlin Clark. I like the way she handles herself. I like the way she's conducted herself in the midst of a bunch of hate and hatred. And while I do really, honestly, do not like the WNBA in any way, shape, or form, I could care less about it. Don't ever care to watch it. I am rooting very heavily for Caitlin Clark to succeed in the midst of all of the hate and, to be honest with you, quite a lot of stereotyping and some other things, some other nonsense that are going on, some monkey business, some shenanigans, some hijinks. She's doing a great job. She had a great, first year, so hopefully she has a nice second year in the WNBA as well and continues to kill it. That's a Pop 2, none graded higher. It does $4,320. We got a Steph Curry Flawless Autograph Ruby Parallel that does $4,320. That was a Pop 1. What about the Gold Shimmer? We asked the question the other day, Black, Nebula, Black Shimmer, where do you rank those cards? What about Gold and Gold Shimmer? What's that margin? What should that margin be, the distinction between a Gold and a Gold Shimmer? Well, this John Morant is a Pop 1 at PSA 10, and it is a rookie card from in 2019, and this card sold for $4,440. Opulence, no longer being produced by Panini, did not really catch on, sort of took over for Gold Standard, was supposed to be high-end with the Flawless, with the Immaculate, with the National Treasures. Didn't really work out for the Opulence product. I don't know why, but people didn't dig it, but this is a good looking one. Serial number to an arbitrary 79 with Doncic shooting his jumper and a really cool looking patch right there with the O from Doncic, I think. This BGS 9 did 45.60. Retro MJ Jambalaya did 49.20. It's not the real one, it's a retro. 2018 Prizm Blue Ice. I love this pickup. I know it's $5,000. That's a lot of money for an ultra modern prospect. In my book, a lot of people, it's chump change, but I like this color match. If you squint hard enough, it's a color match. The darker pieces of the ice shards in there. This is a great looking card. It's serial numbered to only 99, so it's a great way to kind of keep your pop control in tune. SGA's having a good year. The Thunder are without Chet Holmgren. If they had him, I think they would have the best record in the league. Yeah, I know the Cavs are crazy, but I'm telling you, this Oklahoma City Thunder team has every single box checked except experience. So we'll see. He is in the MVP conversation, believe it or not. It's a pop 34. Shout out to Charles Barkley and Giannis. But check out this chart, guys. This is the highest price ever. This is the highest price, yeah, ring that damn cowbell, ever paid for an SGA Blue Ice PSA 10 right there. $5,040 last night on Fanatics Collect weekly auction number 151. The card was super high in 2020. We know Shy's stuff was super, super crazy hot back then. And again, this is a rookie, and you'll notice what's missing on this card. Yeah, that's right. These geniuses from Panini forgot to put the rookie card shield on the little rookie shield logo on all of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cards from 2018. They also apparently misprinted the silvers, if I recall. So the silver 2018 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, PSA 10 pops are much lower than a lot of the other players, if I recall. Somebody else can go double check me on that. Actually, we can go look at that right now. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Silver right there. Yeah, check this out. Watch this gem percentage. 17%, there's 675 of them. Well, the reason I say that's low is because we know for Doncic there's like thousands and thousands and thousands, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go double check. Okay, so there's 675 SGAs with a 17% gem rate. Let me change this. Let me go to Prizm 2018 silver. I'm testing something on your time. I hope y'all don't mind. But this is the fun stuff that gets me going here. Yeah, 2,360. So 675 versus 2,360 and a gem rate of 17% compared to 41.94%. Like I said, I think there was something that they messed up on the quality control on those SGA silver rookie cards. In addition to forgetting to put the freaking rookie shield on there, I just think that's a great buy. Even if it did set an all-time record, I like that card long-term as one of his, non-black, non-gold, non-black shimmer, whatever, an affordable, not a Nebula, right? An affordable low print number parallel from the Prizm era for SGA. Next to that, we got a Kobe Flair Showcase Legacy Collection. This is a record, guys. There's only been 2 of these ever sold. Sorry, it's not a record. 56.55 back in 2021. Here we are, 5,040. That's not that big a difference. I think that's a good sign for Kobe collectors, Kobe holders. I like the purchase price of this card. Kobe's cards were ultra high in 2021 for various reasons. If it was a perfect storm for all other cards, it was really a perfect storm for Kobe, given the circumstances surrounding his untimely passing. So for Kobe to even approach 2021 prices on any of his cards is always a good sign for Kobe collectors out there, or Kobe investors, I should say. Kobe collectors probably want the cards to stay low. PSA 7 Jordan True Rookie card does 57.60. Let's go to page 1. I don't want you to look at the top. Don't look at the top. Okay, there we go. I don't want to give away any secrets. Here's another one, 57.60. So 2 PSA 7 Jordans do 57.60. And here is a sad story. I hate to share this with you, and I really don't like saying I told you so every single time we do a Fanatics Collect weekly auction recap, but I told you so. The 1984 star Jordan number 195 PSA 7 went up too fast, too quick. It was inorganic. It was a bunch of lies. It was a pump and dump. Nothing changed. PSA started grading them, and people took advantage of people out there in the market, and here's the evidence that that was the case. There's your card right there. Great card. One of the 4 1984 star Michael Jordan cards, first-year star, first of 4, Michael Jordan cards. This is the gold medalist card, of course. Here you go, 58.80. It is the lowest of the last 23 sales. Let me just show you what has happened to this card, which is everybody should have seen this freight train coming down the tracks, but 5880 last night is the lowest of the last 23 sales. 65, 66, 8400, 8100, 9200, 9000, 8995, 9000, 8500, 11,225, which in my book is more than double last night's sale. 10,800, 13,800, $14,000 back when the mass hysteria had taken hold and people tried to convince everybody out there that these were rare. And then the same people consistently, repeatedly kept selling their stockpile of cards. And unfortunately, the hobby ate it up. 12.2, 12.5, you got to go all the way back to, good Lord, where do we have to go to find a 58.80 sale? Here you go. You got to go all the way back to May 19th, 2024. That was 23 sales ago. You're just going to have to trust me. 23 sales. It ran all the way up and ran all the way back down. And that's the story of star cards generally for Michael Jordan, and specifically that star card in a PSA 7 grade. Kobe Noise Boys BGS 9.5 does 6,000. Did I look that one up? I did. There it is. Great, great card. A lot of people don't know this. These cards are bendable. You can bend them. You could literally curl it into a tube and let go of it, and it'll spring back into being a flat cardboard card. I don't recommend doing it, but you could if you really wanted to. Go get an Antoine Walker or somebody if you're going to do that, or a Robert Pack or something. Pop 34. Ooh, shout out again to Giannis and Charles Barkley. That's not very many of them out there. This card had a nice comeback here. This card is obviously, again, this is usually the story of what we see when we look at really important Kobe cards, and I think this is an important Kobe card. It's a tier 2 Kobe hierarchy card. $18,500 in 2021. That's probably too much money. Falls all the way back down, less than half in late 2021. People start to figure out, wait, what was going on? What were we thinking? We're stupid. Gets all the way down to a paltry 2,911, which is less than it was in 2020. Less than half of what it was. And then last night it bounces back all the way to 6,000. Is this real? Is this not real? On a downward trend like that at 2,911 to jump all the way to 6,000 last night, I don't know. Let's look at the subs. 9.5, 9, 9.5, 10. So it's just your ordinary mixed gem with a 10 and a 9. Let's wait and see on this one. Again, I don't want to call it into question. I'm not doing that, but it's on a downward trend, and it hit 2,900, and there was a consistent, 7 in a row where it had gone down from an 18,000, and then to jump all the way to 6,000. I'm not so sure. Let's keep our eye on that. Maybe somebody's little cousin hit the button on that one. 1986 Fleer Jordan True Rookie 57 BGS 8.5 does 6,000. So the two 8.5s are outselling the PSA 7s. About a little bit of margin, a little bit. We got 2006 Essential Credentials, serial number to 75, LeBron, BGS 9.5, Gem Plus, a good-looking card right there. 6,600 for that LeBron. Who's that white guy he's dunking over? I wonder who that is in that picture. It could be Anderson Varejao in practice. I don't know. Essential Credentials from 1996 is a really good-looking card. Then EX2000, guys. Go check out the Back to Basics project on the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. We're trying to find the greatest 90s Michael Jordan base card. The EX2000 is square in the middle of it. It made it into the Elite 8. This is the parallel of that card. This is the Credentials parallel. It is serial numbered to 499 and notoriously diamond cut at the top. BGS 7.5, at least they've got the new label on here. I know I've got this bad boy pulled up. Here it is right here. This card last night sold for $6,600, which is the highest price paid over the last 2 years. It is not the all-time record because, like we said, even for Jordan, 2021 was, usually the peak. $11,000 is way too much to pay for that card back then. $6,600 last night is what it sold for. It is a good-looking trend over the last 2 years, up 42.86%. It's a pop 20. Again, there's 499 of them, but only 200 have been graded. So about 40% have been graded, and most of them with BGS. Another retro jambalaya. This is 2006 LeBron BGS 9.5. It does 7,200. I think this is cool. This is a printing plate, and I'm not a printing plate collector, but it's always cool when you see a printing plate sneak into the top 20 cards on a Fanatics weekly auction. $7,200 for this pop 1. Of course it's pop 1. It's serial numbered 1 out of 1. And by the way, it is autographed, and it is a 1 of 1 autograph. This is a really cool piece. I mean, I just think $7,200 seems really cheap. Like, I would much rather this than the retro jambalaya thing here for 2006. I mean, That's just me. It's a better grade. It's a 1 of 1. It's a autograph. I mean, everything about this screams better than this. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments which of these two would you take. Again, I'm not kicking this one out of bed for eating crackers, but damn, this is a 1 of 1 and an autograph and a PSA 10, and it's from Exquisite. I mean, this one checks a lot more boxes than this one does, and they sold for the exact same price. Let me know in the comments which one you guys taking. Guys, I'm holding in my hands the 50th issue of Basketball Card Fanatics magazine, and it's the most badass cover yet. It's a compilation. It's an aggregate of all of the prior issues. Issue number 50. You're behind. You don't have the first 50 issues. Guess what? You can go buy them. You can purchase a digital copy of every single issue that's ever been created at bcfmag.com. Use the promo code Cajun and you'll save 10% on your order. While you're at it, I highly suggest a 1-year subscription. It's $120, but with the Cajun promo code, you get 10% off that as well. Who doesn't want 12 mail days of these beautiful Basketball Card Fanatics magazines? I can't wait to see who's on the cover each month. I read it cover to cover. It's a can't miss in the hobby. Tell them Cajun Cardboard sent you by using the promo code Cajun, C-A-J-U-N. Here's a Bill Russell. There's a lot of talk about Bill Russell, where he ranks historically, and I'm just going to say this. No matter how you feel about the Celtics or Russell or team players or rings or championships or old school versus new school, he is the most difficult player to rank historically because of the rings and because of his situation. It was such an incredible, fertile incubator that, you wonder if Theo Ratliff would have 7 rings or 8 rings or 10 rings like Bill Russell did if he had played for those Celtics teams. But let's just call it what it is. The dude's got a buttload of rings, and he's got more than anybody else that really matters. And that's always going to get him in that conversation, right? When you're talking about the top 10, top 20 players of all time, some people say top 4 or 5 players of all time. Just depends on how old you are and how stubborn and how much you love rings. 1955 All-American Sports Club Bill Russell. A lot of people don't even really know about this one because it predates his it predates his 57 tops. This is the 55 All-American Sports Club in a PSA 9. You got to be kidding me, man. That is a pop 10. There's only 2 graded higher. This card does 7,500. So you're thinking, well, this card's got to be on the uptick. It's low pop. It's Russell's first card that I know of. I'm not a vintage expert. It's a PSA 9, which is a crazy grade. But guess what? This card is getting destroyed, demolished. That's what this card's all-time looks like. In 2022, the card was a $25,000 card, down to 17, back to 17, down to 13, down to 13, down to 12, all the way down to 7,500. You're buying the card now for 1/3 of what this card was worth in 2022. So everybody out there who thinks vintage is untouchable and consistent and like the tortoise and the hare, it's not. Vintage takes its beatings just like Star does, just like 86 Fleer Jordan did, and just like the Hierarchy Jordan cards probably will at one point, right? All cards find an equilibrium, a saturation point between supply and demand. No player, no card, no product, no era, no sport is immune from that. The people will dictate what a card is worth. And guess what? Supply may change and only change in one direction. Supply almost never goes down unless you're talking about wax. But demand will change. Demand will go up and demand will go down. And anybody who thinks they have a crystal ball and knows what that's going to be like in the future is an idiot and lying to you, because nobody in 1997 knew a damn thing about PMG Reds, and certainly didn't think PMG Reds would, be able to buy you, an island or at the very least a nice cigar boat right now. 2004 SB Game Used Patch Auto LeBron, second year PSA Authentic, 10 for the autograph. This is a cool looking card. I don't know if I've ever seen this card. It's a pop 5, only 2 higher, and does 7,800. I like this card. It reminds me of my Nintendo Game Boy days, right? 8,100 for this Kobe Skybox Premium New Editions insert. It's a PSA 10, sold for $8,100. I've got it pulled up. Am I lying? Is that not a cool card? It's like a little Game Boy kind of deal thing. Pop 24, what are the odds, right? There you go, Pop 24, other alternate Kobe jersey number. This card is all time, once sold for $15,000. Then it made a nice little comeback here It looks like it's up 35% over the last 2 years, jumped all the way back up here to 8,400. This one does come down a few $100 from 8,400 a couple of months ago, down here last night to 8,100. So we'll just keep an eye on that card. But Pop 24, that's not very many of them out there. I wonder what the gem percentage is. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's not the rarest card, but it's very susceptible to chipping. I bought one of these in a raw in the cross country collection that I did a nice playlist on, where I bought a 100,000 card collection from up north in Connecticut. And there was a new edition Kobe in there. There's a couple of new edition inserts in there, and all of them were horribly chipped up. And this was coming from a collection where the curator, the owner of that collection that I purchased it from, took really good care of his cards. But these cards, I think, came out of the pack in tough condition, as evidenced and bolstered and substantiated by the 3% gem rate. That's a really low gem rate. Speaking of really rare Kobe cards, this is the 99 Topps Gold Label Class 3 Red Label, serial numbered to only 25. Is the PSA 7, only 2 graded higher. It does 8,100. Awesome looking color match on that gold label, gold jersey. Kobe patch from Immaculate, serial number to 5, does 8,400. Kobe Jambalaya from 2004, it's a retro Jambalaya, does 10,200. That seems like a huge number to me. I don't know, somebody else needs to look that up, but that seems really high to me. 10,200 for that retro Jambalaya from 2004. What about this 2003 SP Authentic Signatures MJ? It is a gem, minimum gem, but this card does have a 10 for the autograph, and it sells for $11,100. And then where else in the world is Anthony Hardaway more valuable than Olajuwon other than in our hobby? It's just one of those interesting little idiosyncrasies where, you know, again, Olajuwon's resume dwarfs Anthony Hardaway. And I know I've got a lot of great Anthony Hardaway collector friends out there, and I love you guys. And I really liked Anthony Hardaway, and he was on the path to greatness and still ended up being a really good player. But my God, let's not even put him remotely anywhere near the conversation with Hakeem Olajuwon, who went there and did that, right? And did it for a very long time. Dude was a Raptor and like 49 years old when he retired. So both serial number to 50, both from 1997 Precious Metal Gems, the championship serial number to 50 PMGs. The Hardaway is a PSA 7 Pop 3. The Olajuwon is a BGS 8 Pop 2. These grades for those who collect PMGs are almost identical. The 7 is almost the same as an 8.5. I would probably say 2 is the separator, so like a PSA 6 and a BGS 8 is probably what and what, apples to apples. But the penny outduels the Olajuwon. Both of those cards sell for big numbers last night, 12,000 and 11,700 respectively. We're moving our way towards the top, people. Can you feel it? Are you getting nervous? Are you getting jittery? I am, because I drank a lot of caffeine this morning. 97 high voltage Jordan, serial number to 500. This is a BGS 9. This is a big Jordan card. There's a lot of conjecture that perhaps 500 weren't printed after all, based on the pop numbers, which we're about to look at. But this BGS 9 is a Pop 13. A 9 is a very high grade for this card. Let's just get that out and in the open. There's only 3 higher graded in the world than this BGS 9, and this 9 did 13,200. That seems to be a low number. We need to look that one up together. Where are we? Here we are. So there's your card right there. That's the big brother, Pop 13. It came way down. So this is a card that ran, look at me, it ran all the way up here to 15.6, which was the all-time high. So this card knew nothing but success. Look, going all the way back, guys, look all the way back to 2012. It was a $1,000 card. Damn, it was a $400 card in 2010. Nothing but yes, 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 I'll pay more, I'll pay more, I'll pay more. A slight hiccup here in June of 2023 when nobody knew if the world was ending, or at least the hobby was ending, and then it jumped to a massive 15.6 all the way back down to 13.2 right there. So a card to keep an eye on. Will the next one bounce back to the 14-15, or will it come down even more from 13.2? There's a lot of Jordan cards in the last couple of weeks, months, where I've said, let's keep an eye on it. Maybe we're starting to see some pullback and some thoughtful, pondering and some consideration and some contemplating that maybe prices have run a little bit too much. Yes, even on my precious 90s Jordan inserts and parallels, you have to keep a close eye on what's going on, and that's why I use Card Ladder for all my data pricing information, because they get nice fancy graphs that dumb Cajun people can understand. 2023 Prizm Orange Wemby PSA 10, serial number to 49. I'm always preaching from the mountaintops. Wemby cards are going down. Wemby cards are going down. It's not because of Wemby. It's because there's too many damn Wemby cards being printed. Well, guess what? I'm going to have to eat my words here because this orange serial number to 49 PSA 10 is actually ticking very much up. Now, let's be real clear. It sold last night for $13,200. The most it's ever sold for was $17,600 out of the gate. So last night's sale was maybe the 7th, 8th highest price ever paid. But look at the most recent sales. This card is trending upward. You got to go all the way back here to May. So it went 10.5, 10.3, 11.1, 9,900, looking really good now, 11.7, and then it jumped last night to 13,200. I don't think it was jersey number or anything crazy like that. That's a really shocking sale, like that card went up that much right now. Maybe it's because, I know this is going to sound crazy, the Spurs are trying to get into the playoffs. Is this a little bit ahead of schedule? Did anybody think this was going to happen? Chris Paul, Stephon Castle, Champagny, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Zach Collins, and Victor Wembanyama are pushing their way into the playoffs and over 500. Who would have thought that? Oh, yeah, that's right. I did, because I thought Victor Wembanyama was that good and had that big of an effect on a game. In fact, I even bet them to make the playoffs on FanDuel, so I put my $10 where my mouth is. Take it to .net, Michael Jordan hierarchy card at its finest. If you're interested in finding a Jordan insert or parallel from the 90s that's relatively affordable, again, not in a PSA 10, that is serial numbered, this is probably one of your best bets because it's serial numbered to the highest number, 1,000. That's a big number. It is the highest serial numbered hierarchy card that we have. I'm almost positive. I got to check on that. I might have to check on that. Somebody else who's more familiar with the hierarchy than me. I know that's embarrassing. Let me know. Is there another one? What was the profiles serial number 2, the high dimensions? Is that 2,000 or 1,000? I can't remember, but 1,000 is a big number. PSA 10, however, takes it into rare company. 15,600 for this take at .net last night. There's the card right there. Pop 42. Shout out to the great Vin Baker, Sonics and Bucks legend. Here's what the card's done. This is 3 consecutive upward trends. It got down to 12.18. Jumped to 12.3, jumped to 12.850, and jumped all the way up to 15,600. It did not get all the way back to the 18,500 that we saw in September of 2023. Where are we all time? Okay, so it's just sort of working its way back. If we look at the last 2 years, this card's up 49% over the last 2 years. Again, a lot of stuff going for it. Aesthetics, yes. PSA 10, yes. Serial numbered, yes. Pop 42 like Vin Baker, yes. A lot of things that are in the positives. And here we are on the top 3, guys. This is it. This is the top row. We got 3 cards, and I alluded to this in the introduction. 2 Uber prospects out-dueling a Michael Jordan classic Fleer card from the 80s. This is Jordan's 87 Fleer. It got a PSA 10. It is definitely an old label. It is definitely off-center. This would have got a PSA 6 if I submitted it today. I'm just telling you, that's the way PSA operates, especially on 87 Fleer. They murdered me harder on 87 Fleer, or maybe 88 Fleer was pretty bad too, than I've ever been murdered by PSA in my life. And that is coming from an affiliate partner of PSA. If you're going to submit your cards for grading and you've never done it and you want to send them to PSA, which I do recommend, play the game, roll the dice, play the roulette, right? Go for the PSA 10s. There's just too much margin there not to. If you're going to do that, I'm an affiliate partner with PSA under the collector's umbrella. At the checkout screen, use the promo code Cajun25, the number 25 at the end of Cajun, and you'll get $25 off your order with PSA. This 87 Fleer PSA 10, despite being off-center for a 10, does 15,600. There's your card right there. That's what a centered one looks like. That one's better centered. Pop 215, but watch the gem percentage, guys. 1%, and that's 1% historically. Today, it's 1% of 1%. I promise you that. 1 in 1,000 is probably going to get a PSA 10 by today's measure. Here you go. This is since the year 2021. So since April of 2021, here's how many 10s they've added from 202 to 215. They've added 13 in the last, 36, 48 months, something crazy like that, 36 months. So as I mentioned, it's not 1% anymore. It is probably 1% of 1%, or maybe not quite that extreme. But that 87 Fleer PSA 10, wait, did we look at the chart? Let's look at the chart. There's your chart right there. So up 9%. This one did come down from the last one, probably because of the centering. So 16.8 was the last one, down to 15.6. So keep an eye on that one right there. And now we've got the LaMelo Ball. This is his 2020 National Treasures first off the line blue serial number to only 3, and it's a beautiful color match. LaMelo injured again, out. Not a surprise, right? It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Well, when happened, he's injured. Serial number to 3, BGS 9. And by the way, the dude was playing well, taking tons of shots. Again, the Hornets just suck. Brandon Miller seems to be taking tremendous advantage of this time where LaMelo Ball is out, as well as Vasily Micic. 25,200 for this LaMelo Ball. Seems kind of high to me. And then next to it, we have the winner. And this is the highest selling Alperen Şengün card of all time, period. It doesn't matter the product. It doesn't matter the grade. It doesn't matter anything. This is the highest price anyone has ever paid in a public platform for an Alperen Şengün card. It is a PSA authentic, no grade for the card, so it must be banged up. Otherwise, they would have graded it. If it was an 8, I still would have graded it. That's just me. 10 for the autograph, and it's the 75th anniversary logo man. Beautiful, beautiful card of Alperen Şengün. Let's go look at it closer. Let's get way deep into this thing. Don't even do it. Don't even try it. There it is right there. Great looking logo man right there. Just off center enough to be interesting. Alperen Şengün can't slide a credit card under his feet when he jumps, although sometimes he posterizes people. Maybe it's because he's 6'11", I don't know. But poor man's Jokic, although not too poor. He's playing really well. The Rockets are a problem, man. They are a very, very deep team. They remind me of last year's Oklahoma City Thunder. They are on the precipice of being a very serious problem because they play both ends of the floor. Got a crazy coach who cares about defense. Yeah, what's that, defense? Can you imagine that it actually matters? The Rockets are on the uptick, guys. Keep an eye on the Rockets. They are a very deep team, and they've got the assets that they can move to upgrade if they really wanted to move Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet, which they probably should. Although some people will say Fred VanVleet and Dillon Brooks are the reason that the Rockets are where they are. Who knows? I don't know. 33,600. Like I said, the most ever paid for an Alperen Şengün card. There you go. There's your card. It's a beautiful card. I can't argue with that. It sold for almost double what his National Treasures True RPA PSA 10 sold for, which is a Pop 2. And it's been graded 68 times. So there you go. The gold, the True Gold, 8 out of 10. Şengün Rookie PSA 10 is a Pop 2, 3. So drastically, woefully, not even close, by far outselling those. Let me know what you think, guys. 2 prospects outdueled Jordan. Here's our top 10. Alperen Şengün, LaMelo Ball, Michael Jordan, Wembanyama, Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, Olajuwon. Love to see my 90s guys get some love. Michael Jordan, and then lastly, a Kobe Bryant Retro Jambalaya. That is it. That is it for today's episode. I hope you guys have a great week in the hobby. Guys, don't forget, if you're going to buy or sell on Fanatics Weekly, there's 2 ways you can support. Use the affiliate link to buy. Use the promo code CAJUN, all capital letters, CAJUN, when you sell. That is the primary way that I get compensated to keep this thing going and get to come to the office at 5, 6 a.m. in the mornings on Monday and leave Mrs. Cajun Cardboard at the house. I'm like, I got to go get paid, baby. And so I come in here and I do these videos. Hopefully you guys like them. If you got any ideas, well, first of all, if I've made any mistakes, please point them out. I am not infallible by any stretch. And in case you haven't noticed, I talk pretty quick and I do very little prep time. We kind of do this organically together. We look at the charts together. We look at the trends together. So occasionally I will make a mistake. If I did, please let me know. Please call me out on it. I assure you I am not trying to mislead. I'm doing my very best. The other thing is, if you have any suggestions on how to make these videos more entertaining or more educational within reason, please let me know. I'm easy to reach. I'll always respond to the comments as long as they're classy and clean and productive and constructive. And you can always message me on Instagram. I'm easy to find. I will keep this out there. This is my offer. If you're submitting a card to the Fanatics Premier Auction and you want my help promoting it, use the promo code CAJUN, and I'll make sure we get eyeballs on that card for sure. Hell, I might even bid on the card if it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great week in and out of the hobby. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.